Hi, good afternoon, dear students. In the previous class, we discussed about the various properties of the Z transform, like your linearity, time shifting, time scaling, time reversal, scaling of Z. Like this, we have already discussed about the 11 property of the Z transform. Now today we discuss about the 12th property of the Z transform. What is this 12th property? That is your initial value theorem. In your Laplace transform, we already discussed about the initial value theorem. Whenever a continuous time signal f of t is given, we have to find out its Laplace transform as your f of t is f of s. And taking this initial value at f of t at t equal to 0, we have to find its initial value f of 0, taking this limit s tends to infinite and it is s of f of s. Now there are two conditions that must be satisfied, and these two conditions is value of f of t is equal to 0 when the value of t must be less than 0. This condition must satisfied. If this condition is not satisfied, then we are unable to apply this Laplace transform initial value theorem. Now the second condition is my f of t must not contain any impulse or higher order signal at t equal to 0. That is already we discussed about this Laplace transform of the initial value theorem in the Laplace transform. Now we are going to discuss about this initial value theorem in your Z transform. So whenever in this Z transform, whenever a discrete signal x of n is given, you have to find out its initial value theorem as your x of z. And this is x of z is nothing but this Z transform of the discrete time signal x of n. So in order to find out the initial value theorem, here we have to take the x of n at n equal to 0, we have to find the value of x of 0, and by using this formula, that is limit z tends to infinite, that is x of z. And here also the condition must be satisfied, and the condition is that my value of x of n should always 0 when the value of n is less than 0. If this condition is not satisfied, then we are not able to find out the initial value theorem of this particular Z transform. Now we are going to discuss about this proof of this initial value theorem. That is how x of n at n equal to 0, it becomes x of 0. That is, we have to find limit z tends to infinite x of z. So for this purpose, let us take that is x of z, and taking its summation at n equal to minus infinite to infinite x of n in z to the power minus n. So whenever we taking the summation, we know that z to the power minus n, when the value of n is less than 0, x of n is becomes 0. So no need to calculate the limit from minus infinite to infinite. Instead of taking this minus infinite to infinite, you have to take as 0 to infinite. So taking the limit or taking the summation from n equal to 0 to infinite x of n into z to the power n. Now we remove the summation, so I get that is x of 0 into z to the power 0 plus x of 1 in z to the power minus 1 plus x of 2 into z to the power minus 2 and so on. Again, which implies if taking the limit z tends to infinite x of z, limit z tends to infinite, just to open the bracket, that is becomes your x of 0 plus x of 1 z to the power minus 1 is divided by, and it is become x of 1 by z plus x of 2 by z and so on. So now taking the value of z equal to infinite and putting this value, first we get that is x of 0 plus x of 1 divided by infinite, x of 2 divided by infinite and so on. And you know that when something divided by infinite, it becomes 0. So we get the initial value as whenever taking the limit z tends to infinite x of z, that is equal to x of 0. Okay students, that's all. Thank you. This is the initial value theorem. In the next class we discuss about the final value theorem, and we take some example to elaborate this final value theorem. Okay, thank you.